I'm Emmalynn.
I'm Jessica.
And today we are here with our December, Christmas TBR.
Yes, mostly
Christmas is really no thoughts, just vibes type of month, because let's be real, who has time to process
It's
things?
true. You don't want to read anything hard to understand.
Well, also it's
emotionally draining.
I feel like I do a lot of my reading during Christmas, with other people in the room, so I can't focus on things if it's really
yes. You
complex.
know I can't. It's gotta be silent or instrumental music only. Those are the only two options.
I feel like I can deal with people talking easier than I can with music with words these days.
Oh yeah,
because it's
depends.
coffee vibes. It depends unless they're talking about something interesting. Anyways.
Okay, the first two books we're going to talk about are the same. Well, we
both want to read them.
them.
We're not going to try to be quirky and pretend we don't have the exact same taste. So,
okay, the first book is the new Courtney Walsh book. Obviously, I'm stan Courtney Walsh. It's called Christmas with the Crank, right?
Christmas
and the Crank.
I think so. Christmas with a Crank.
With a Crank. Okay. And this is, we were talking about this. If you've seen, okay, you can let us know.
This is way too niche.
We like old Hallmark Christmas movies. I'm not really about the new ones. There's this old one it's called either Christmas, I feel like it's Christmas Town. I'm pretty sure. It's totally giving the vibes of that.
But gender bent.
Which is what makes me want to read it all the more. Mm-hmm. So basically, it's a guy that his family has a Christmas tree farm, right? Mm-hmm. And, well, first of all, the guy and the girl are childhood friends. They, I think, had a childhood love. And then they go their separate ways. His family has a Christmas tree farm, wants him to come back and take it over. She has a failed business startup, so she comes back home. And then his family hires her to try to revamp or probably market. I'm thinking social media. I don't know that for sure, but I'm thinking maybe she's gonna be the social media person. So then
she's there to revitalize it for one last time.
Give it
probably to get it to sell at the highest rate.
Maybe. But he doesn't want to take over the family farm. I forgot what I was gonna say, but I think they haven't spoken to each other in all of these years that time has gone by since they were 12 or so. So then they're reunited, and I don't know if he's the crank. Is he the cranky, or is she the cranky? I don't know.
Which I don't know how not wanting to take over a family business is the same as not liking Christmas. Is that what they mean?
I don't know. Forgot to mention that book is on Kindle Unlimited, so
yes,
you can check it out if you have it.
Which I didn't expect it to be since it just came out.
I know.
So it was a very, very nice
I'm
surprise.
thankful. And then the next book we both want to read is this beautiful thing here, Upon a Frosted Star by M.A. Cusner?
I don't know.
Anyways, we were sent this book by HarperCollins, which I'm so thankful for, and the inside pages are just so beautiful. Mm-hmm. The green, they got me with the green. Mm-hmm. But this book, okay. Mm-hmm. Whenever she sent the email asking us if we wanted this book, I think I went and looked it up, but I was this is totally giving Caraval vibes. Say less. And then I got it, and Stephanie Garber blurbed it on the back. She said, "Sparkling prose and bewitching storytelling." And I'm okay.
Say less.
So I read her other book, which is called Midnight in Everwood, which is a Nutcracker retelling. And this book says it's inspired by The Great Gatsby and Swan Lake.
Interesting.
Yes. So, all I know is
that.
And also, the very first thing that caught my eye was the invitations always arrive the same way, without warning, appearing around the city on the first snowfall of the year, simply inscribed with "Tonight."
I think it's also important, first of all, that we read what's on the back, because that's also going to be very Caraval. The parties always started the same way, when the nights deepened, swallowing daylight by the hour, when winter whispered its frozen song across the land, when the promise of snow could be tasted in the air, the parties were a thing of legend and sometimes an obsession. The obsession is definitely...
And legend? A fangirl moment. He's here. I don't know. I have really high hopes for this. I did like Midnight in Everwood. I thought it was like very vibey. It was a little slow in pacing. But other than that, I don't really have anything negative to say about it. I do think her writing is very pretty though. So I'm excited to read this one as well.
Okay. Then I'm going to start with a book that you also want to read, and that is The Spectacular by Stephanie Garber.
Yes.
Forgot.
I did. I forgot it. Was
it's because we
out.
don't have it.
Yeah.
Also, like, I understand why you release things early, like, promote things, let people that are popular give the book the hype so that more people buy it, etc. I understand releasing it early, but it does make it go on the back burner. And then I saw again this story the other day. I was like, oh my gosh,
and
I need to act fast. Yeah, there's illustrations throughout the whole thing. I'm currently rereading Caraval. It's been like 3 years since I read it, and it's just a life-changing experience. And I'm not even being dramatic. I genuinely think it is life-changing. I'm like, this is why I loved fantasy in the first place. I feel like it's been so long since I read something I loved. But Spectacular is just a silly, goofy Christmas novella. I'm hoping...
I know what you're going to say.
There's an Evangeline Jacks appearance, but I don't think there's going to be.
A cameo?
I don't think there's going to be genuinely, and that's kind of sad. But I'm hopeful. Don't tell me. I need to find out on my own.
Yeah, I have not even seen a single review of it at all. Actually, are people, like, I haven't even seen anyone talk about them reading it. I saw someone I followed
that got a PR box of it with, like, a cup and stuff.
I would surely have died.
It was beautiful. I know she loved it, obviously, because you're already a big fan of the book. I mean, you're not going to read it unless you love the books, the original series, so, yeah. It's like, I never would have dreamed there would have been a Christmas Stephanie Garber book, but here we are. What a time to be alive.
In the year of our Lord, in the year of Christmas.
A Taylor Swift album and a Stephanie Garber book in the same year happened last year too. It's crazy.
Wow, what a time. Okay, so now we're gonna jump on the Christmas bandwagon that we will continue to be on for some time. So
you can go ahead.
The first book I'm going to talk about is The Holiday Cottage by Sarah Morgan. I went and basically cleaned out our library of all its Christmas books. So sorry.
We learned our lesson.
Yes, we waited too long last year and everything was gone. But I just finished another Sarah Morgan book. I loved it. I've read 2 books by her by now, I've read 2 other books of her now. But this book is kind of giving the holiday vibes, and I love the holiday and the holidays vibes. So this is like destined for greatness, I feel, but it's set in the Cotswolds. Is that how you say it? Cotswolds?
I think so.
Yeah. And basically it's about this girl named Imogen. It's not how you say is it Imogen or Imogen?
Well,
see,
there's
like
both.
The southerner in me would say Imogen.
Isn't there someone named that?
Imogen? Hep?
Yeah.
But okay. Is it spelled the same? I'm gonna call her Imogen.
I'm pretty sure it's like Imogen.
I'm gonna call her Imogen.
Okay. Just let me, okay.
But basically, she's a workaholic.
How about you just use her pronouns?
I'll just call her Emily.
Jen.
Or Jen? Okay, we'll call her Jen.
Mo.
She's a workaholic, like a high achiever kind of type, and I guess she does that to avoid also, like, celebrating Christmas. And then something happens and she's like, what am I doing with my life? Or she's, like, forced to take a break from work. I don't know if, like, she forces herself or if, like, her boss makes her take a break. Mm-hmm. But one of her clients is like, oh, come and stay with me in my little cottage. Her name is Dorothy, which I do know how to say.
Good job.
And so she packs up and goes and stays with her. But Dorothy, I don't know if she's an elderly lady, but that's how I'm envisioning her. Mm-hmm. Okay, so just run with it. She, I think, has, like, ulterior motives. Like, she's inviting her because she's lacking something in her life. So she's like, I'm going to let her come stay with me to make up for, like, my past mistakes or, like, the wrongs I've done in my life that have made me be alone. I'm not really sure, but that's kind of the vibes I get. So then I think they kind of, like, grow together. Like, it's like a moment of growth for both of them, but in different ways. I don't know if there's any romance in this. I don't feel like there is, but maybe it'll be a nice little surprise. I don't know.
The book is also holiday vibes. And I specifically am reading it because of the cover. Because obviously that's what you see first. But the... I mean, like, I never heard of this author, know nothing about this book, saw it on Kindle Unlimited. I was like,
that's good reviews.
Like something I would like. And, I mean, I'll put the cover up here. But the house looks like the house in the holiday.
Again.
Sold.
Here we are.
And it's called Not Just for Christmas. And it says, a perfectly cozy festive romance. And I said, if cozy is spelled with an S, you know it's a vibe, because that means it's abroad. Yeah. And so this book is set in England.
Shocking.
Also in Cotswolds.
Yeah.
It's literally the same.
What even? That's crazy.
And this says that Erin has worked hard to build the life she loves with a wonderfully quirky flat in London, a supportive group of friends, and a fulfilling job. She has everything she needs. But a festive escape to the Cotswolds leaves her questioning what she's been missing. Between enchanting Christmas markets, ice skating beneath twinkling fairy lights, and cozy, with an S, chats by the fire, sparks fly with Lewis, the charming hotel manager. Okay. But Lewis has a secret. And as the festive season unfolds, it becomes harder for him to explain everything to Erin. Opening up might shatter their fairy tale romance. Oh. For their budding relationship to last beyond the Christmas season, they're both going to have to decide what they really want and what they're willing to risk to get it. So there you go.
Sounds great.
Seems like a good time to me. Seems kind of, again, like the holiday. Like, they're like, how are we going to make this work?
Yet another Christmas book. This is... I just talked about this. I have a special place in my heart for books set in an inn or a hotel, either one or both. I don't know, but I just saw this at Barnes and Noble. It just came out, and I was like, I really want to read it, but I don't want to buy it. So I was like, hey, let's go to the library, and they had it. So here we are. But this is about a girl who is a content marketing manager, and she loses her job. This is like tale as old as time. So she has to go home, take care of her mom, because her mom just broke her leg and runs an inn. So she goes home to help her with her inn, and it's set in Cape Cod. And so we have like a slew of characters coming in and out of the inn. Might possibly one of them be her high school sweetheart who's a single dad. Maybe. It's a possibility. I don't know. And so, yeah, she, like, I think eventually kind of learns to love being back home, helping her mom, maybe reevaluates her life. I'm not really sure. But it's just giving also another Hallmark movie. What's it called?
Let It Snow.
Let It Snow. Our favorite.
Candace Cameron Bure.
She can do no wrong. It's, again, the old Hallmark Christmas movies are top tier, and you can't convince me otherwise. And that's that.
Okay. Next we have Meet Me Under the Mistletoe. I feel like I've heard of this.
Oh my gosh.
for you. We have 2 of her other books on
I know.
the bookshelf.
Why do we have so many of her books that we haven't read?
Also, like, I don't know, something about her covers. They do, like, have the same vibe, but
yeah, they're
usually
cute.
you look at a cover and you're like, I know you wrote all these books. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, I've just never thought that with her. I guess just because it's seasonal. Does she only write seasonal books?
I feel like that's the majority of what I've seen.
Anyways, I just have to read some of the back because I didn't know what this was about. I read it before I bought it. I wasn't a complete idiot, but I don't remember. So, this follows Eleanor Noel.
Oh.
Nori for short. And she's quite content running her second-hand bookshop in London, forever torn between her working-class upbringing and her classmates' extravagant lifestyles at the posh private school she attended on scholarship. Nori has finally figured out how to keep both at equal distance. So when 2 of her oldest friends invite their whole gang to spend the time leading up to their wedding together at the castle near their old school, Nori must prepare herself for an emotionally complicated few days. The reunion brings back fond memories, but also requires Nori to dodge an ill-advised former flame. When she quite literally falls into the arms of Isaac, the castle's head gardener, who has nothing but contempt for the snobby prep school kids, the attraction between them is undeniable. And as Nori spends more time with Isaac during the wedding festivities, she finds herself falling hard for the boy she used to consider an enemy. Nori and Isaac explore their common ground, but pressures mount on all sides, and Nori must decide what kind of life she wants to live. And
her name is Nori?
Something worth, if it's worth the risk. The sticker's covered up. Yep.
I just think of that annoying girl on Rings
Her name's
of Power.
Eleanor, okay?
Okay. Nori.
But I just think this is going to be funny. I love a castle setting. I love a wedding. I love a friend group that, like, gives their opinions unwarranted. Yes. We love a second chance. We love a rivalry that they acknowledge was stupid.
Yeah.
There's just so many funny things going on. And she owns a bookstore.
No.
There's a lot going on, and it's pretty short.
I don't feel like this one there's as much going on. So,
but you know, sometimes that's nice. Sometimes
this one is about
relaxed.
A middle-aged woman. Probably she's more like my age, which I guess I'm close to middle age. But anyways, she owns a restaurant. Her children are grown. She's been married for 26 years, and I think her husband and her are just like agreeing that their marriage isn't gonna work. So she takes a position as like, I feel like she's house sitting because it says winter guardian. So she's like house sitting for someone who maybe like goes and lives somewhere else during the winter in this like small little seaside town. And I guess she's like, my restaurant can do fine without me. She goes to live in this house in this little seaside town. It's called Willow Bay. And she falls in love with the house. She falls in love with the town. The neighbors are like all super welcoming to her. Except I guess the house that she's living in, the owner of that house's nephew also lives in this town. And he's like, I guess in disagreement with them letting her live there or something. So he's like, you know, he's the grumpy to her sunshine. Or maybe he has like plans of wanting them to sell it. I'm not really sure. But yeah, it's kind of just about her falling in love with this town and the people there. And it sounds really cutesy. A season for second chances.
I feel like it's going to be more wintry for sure. But I like it. The cover is so cute.
I think this is probably one of those books where like Christmas is like it's leading up to Christmas and then Christmas happens like towards the end of the book. But so it's the perfect book for anyone looking for a charming holiday romance.
Sold.
So, I mean, yeah.
Okay, my next book I was having a major complex about earlier. And that's because I started it last year and I never finished it for some reason. I think I was just kind of in a slump. Shocking. And this is...
I think you started reading Christmas books too early last year.
Or too late.
No, it was too early. And then you were tired of them.
I only read 2 last year. And they were towards the end.
I don't know then. I thought it was too early, but
I don't know. But that is the mouthful. Sleigh Rides and Silver Bells at the Christmas Fair by Heidi Swain. And this is about Anna, who takes on the role of companion to the owner of Winthrop Hall. And I know that, like, I think it's their son. Is it their son that comes home?
Yeah.
Yeah. And, of course, he, like, doesn't.
This is like modern Downton Abbey to me. Because they have an estate.
Yes. Actually, he's not the one that doesn't like Christmas. She doesn't like Christmas. He doesn't like the house.
He doesn't want to.
And she loves the house. And so she's trying to get him to fall back in love with the estate. He's trying to get her to fall back in love with Christmas. Which is interesting because I feel like normally it's just like you're grumpy and you're sunshine, but I like that they like are they're helping each other work through
this
things.
Book is like technically number 5 or 6 in a series. Yeah. But all of her books, they're like set in the same place and they're interconnected in that way, but they're all about different characters.
Yeah, I mean, author of Mince Pies and Mistletoe at the Christmas Market.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Her books are really hard to find. I don't know if it's because we live in the States and she's a British author, but they're really, our library never has any, like, even Libby doesn't have any. So I just had to buy it to get it.
I'm excited to finally finish it. I love the cover. I remember loving this. I remember loving the whole, like, upstairs, downstairs, the staff's relationship with each other. They were all really sweet to her. And, yeah, I don't know what happened, but we're gonna fix it.
Yeah. Give it another chance. It deserves it. Okay. This book was another one I saw at Barnes & Noble. It also just came out. And I wanted it, but I didn't want to buy it. So I, again, went to the library. But this is, like, inspired by Emma. So I think this is just about a girl who kind of tries to play matchmaker to everyone but herself. Her name is Frankie, which is funny to me because we love the middle. And that's what I think of when I think of Frankie. But I think she has, like, like Emma, a really good male friend, and so I'm guessing, like, it's kind of like she suddenly realizes he's been there for her this whole time and that kind of thing. But it sounds really cute, so I'm gonna give it a whirl. I've never read anything by Sheila Roberts before. I see her books all the time, but one of her books was made into a Lifetime movie, and then The 9 Lives of Christmas was made into a Hallmark movie. So that's promising.
Okay, my last book is a bit. I'm hoping that, like, all the romance, the cushy reads will, like, power me to read this one. I love Rebecca Ross. I don't know why I haven't read this book. I think it's just, like, because she is very into prose as a YA author. The idea of her adult novels kind of intimidate me because I'm like, how much more lyrical are they going to be? Yeah. Like, is it going to be kind of hard to get through, or is it going to be, like, just enough to where I still enjoy it? But this is a duology. It is available on Kindle Unlimited right now. I don't know how long it's been on there, but if you've never read one of her books before, all of her books are on there. So
really,
feel free to check them out. I'm not sure. I feel like Divine Rivals is.
Yeah, Divine Rivals is for sure.
I didn't know if that was, like, the only one that wasn't, because it's super popular right now. But I've finished almost all of her books, so these are, like, kind of standing in my way. But this follows Jack, who has lived on the mainland and became a bard. 10 years later, he's called back home to Cadence because girls are going missing from the island, and his childhood nemesis, who is the future leader of the clan, believes Jack is the only one that can find them. And so there's, like, some elemental...
I don't know, it was a mystery, kind of.
Yeah, it says that Elemental spirits that dwell in every breath of air, splash of water, blade of grass, and flicker of fire find mirth in the lives of the humans, and a bard's music is the only way to summon them and ask that the girls be returned. Yet as Jack and Adara get closer to solving the mystery, it becomes apparent that an older, darker secret about Cadence lurks beneath the surface, and no harp song may be strong enough to stop it. So the idea that, like, music is part of the magic is cool. I'm nervous because I've heard that people don't like the second one as much.
Oh.
But I'm wondering if they just had a different idea of how things would end, or if it's just not what they were expecting. I'm not really sure, because if someone says it's not as good, I'm like, good as in subjective or objective, because I think there is, like, objective, it's not as good, it's like significantly less quality than the first one, or subjective, good, like, did you just not like the way it ended?
Yeah.
So I need to, like, find out what bothers people about the second one, but I think I'll be fine. I'm very excited to read this, hopefully soon.
Okay, the last book I'm going to talk about is also not a Christmas book. Like the two Christmas books that I'm not going to read. This is the second one. But this is called Mortal Queens, and it's by Victoria McCombs, who is the author of the Royal Rose Chronicles, I think is what it's called. Mm. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes.
I haven't read anything by her before, but this just really intrigued me because it's about fae, but it's not, like, super high fantasy. It kind of reminds me of, what's the Margaret Rogerson Enchanted Raven?
Forgery?
Or no.
Oh. Margaret Rogerson.
Yes.
Sorcery Thorns?
Is the Ravens, Enchantment of Ravens, isn't there fae?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it reminds me of that. But basically, there's this island, and every year the island picks, or not like the island, but the people of the island pick someone to be the mortal queen of the fae. And so they send a mortal girl to go be queen of the fae, and she never returns. They never see her again. So it sounds really interesting the way they have, I like when they make fae be like tricksters, and it says
way more accurate.
Yeah, it says the Fae realm is eternal night where disputes are settled by chess matches, power is acquired through the most devious kinds of trickery, and 7 elusive kings roam. So it also says the Fae hide their faces behind masks and guard their glass hearts to keep them from shattering. So this girl named
That sounds good.
Althea is sent to go be the mortal queen, and she's like, how am I going to end up not disappearing like every other mortal queen? And so she starts trying to, like, conceal messages through her paintings, which is kind of like Enchantment of Ravens, I think. And then she starts receiving replies back, like anonymous replies, and the replies are telling her the story of the one other girl who was able to survive being a mortal queen.
Interesting.
So, yeah. So, this sounds really good. And the second book this is a duology. The second book just came out not that long ago. It's called Lethal Kings, I think. So, I'm pretty sure it's just a duology. And this will be, like, a good little way to nudge me back into fantasy after all of these Christmassy romance books, because usually in the winter is when I do read the most fantasy. So I'm excited to read this, and maybe I'll be reading the second one in January. Anyways, those are all the books we're hoping to get to in the month of December. It's a pretty ambitious, but we're not going to be traveling at all, really.
No.
Minus concerts. But yeah, we're going to be around for Christmas. We do have family coming to visit, but not going anywhere. So hopefully we'll be able to plow through these in the breeze.
I'm hoping to get my shopping done soon, so besides work.
Yes. Anyways, we hope you enjoyed this video. Let us know what you're planning on reading in December, and we will see you